Hi, welcome to Fiber Focus, the podcast brought to you by Sumitomo Electric Lightwave, where we dive into the world of fiber optics and all things connectivity. I'm your host, Meredith Neely, and I'm joined today by Andrew Degidio, who is actually, Andrew, would you introduce yourself? Tell us what your role is here at Sumitomo Electric Lightwave. And we're meeting for the first time, so just let the audience meet you at the same time.
Yeah, I am the senior technical manager for Fusion Splicers. So specifically, that is my background and my focus.
And thank you for that. The reason that we wanted to talk today is because we've had a few other podcast guests talking about the need for more people to come on board in the industry and fill some of the many roles that are coming available when it comes to designing and building and running networks. And I know that there has long been a pipeline from the military to the industry. That has been the case for as long as I've been part of it, and understand that is your background, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it is very interesting that through my travels and trainings, it seems like, as you said, the military must be doing something that promotes people to want to go into fiber really bad. It's really the technical training that you get in the military and the troubleshooting skills and all of that, but the jobs don't typically translate directly into the real world. So for example, I was a cryptologic technician technically speaking. So this was, radar signals analysis and stuff like that, not practical in the real world. So you go through all this training, you go through all this troubleshooting, you become very hands-on. And then when you're done, you go, okay, now what? So there's something about fiber that just it's the community, it's the people, it's a small group that has that kind of same camaraderie as like the military. So just draws people in.
What was your path from the Navy to Sumitomo Electric Lightwave?
Well, super random. So the military, I was mainly focused on radars and things like that. And when I got out, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try and stay with electronics and things of that nature. So the first job I took out of the Navy was doing security installs, like cameras and alarm systems and stuff in Florida in the middle of summer. That's attic spaces. Was not for me. So quickly, I decided to look for work full-time, something more of a fit, and went to a career fair that was in Atlanta. One of the jobs that they had available, they only allowed 3 people to interview, and it was for a fusion splicer field service engineer. That's what it was. And I had no idea what a fusion splicer was. It sounded cool. It sounded crazy. It sounded a little intense, but I was like, I'll give it a shot. Even the recruiters and stuff were like, well, you're kind of the dark horse, right? You don't necessarily have the background for it, but really it's the wanting to learn, right? So that's I think that what kind of pushed it over was I said, well, if I can learn about all this other stuff, I'm really interested in fusion splicing, as long as it's not radiation and scary things. It sounds very scary. And I got that position. And from there, it was all hands-on and taking things apart and putting them back together. And it's starting at the bottom and moving up over time.
One could argue that you had exactly the background that was needed, right? Like somebody who's not afraid of a challenge, right? Actually might have drawn you to it a little bit, right? Like this is something that's scary and sounds hard, and sign me up.
It's
right?
weird that it's like, it's terrifying, just like joining the military, right? It's a big leap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people, it's a big unknown. Until you're there, you have no clue what it's like. And you're kind of, okay, you close your eyes and go. And so this was one more big leap that so glad I did it. This will be the field I retire. I love it. I've never heard of it before. So I think that's where, when we get into the recruiting issues and the field people, nobody knows about it. And on one hand, I kind of like that, right? It's nice to have a little bit of security, but the need in the last several years, especially after COVID, it's just exploded. And we can't keep up with the demand, right?
I was thinking about how you were saying that a lot of people don't know that these jobs are available, and that's a real challenge. That's one of the things I appreciate about this company, is that we're doing what we can to raise awareness and to bring people in and really encourage people to take a look and see if there is a role for them in the industry. And like you were saying, that there is a place for just about everybody, right? That because the job offerings are specialized, but they're also broad. right? Like,
Extremely. So part of what I do now, I go talk to anywhere from PhDs down to high school. And really, you're right. There is a place for everybody. And that's one of the things I tell the high school. I'm like, if you like super techie stuff, it's available to you. If you like hands-on and getting dirty and pulling cable, there's a job for you. If you want to sit behind a desk and just crunch numbers, I mean, wherever you want to go with it. And that's kind of the fascinating part of it. And from traveling and teaching and learning and working with everybody, it's so broad. I mean, I can't even begin to describe.
I know. Yeah, you're here on a podcast today. Who would have thought, right? That could be
Right.
part of your job.
Yeah, I'm more on the listening side of podcasts typically.
Me too. I like that you said that this was it for you, that you're going to be in this industry throughout the rest of your career. But that doesn't mean that people need to know exactly where they want to wind up at the end of their careers to step into the industry, right? Like, much like the military, there is a lot of opportunity for mobility, right? And for advancement. And can you talk a little bit about that, what you've experienced in terms of, job paths that people can take?
Yeah. So, I mean, absolutely, that is the case. When I started doing this, I started off doing service and repair. And I thought, okay, I'm a repair technician. Where do you go from there? Right. And then it was slowly looking around and seeing needs of, okay, there's some marketing things I can do. There's some educational things I can do. There's development things I can do. And there's business things. And so you can kind of, it's the only place that I feel like there's so much to let you explore these different paths. So, I mean, when I started off as a field service engineer, I ended up being a marketing manager for a while, then a solutions engineer, and then another type of engineer when I first started. So all the technical stuff. And then I went back to school to get a business degree. So I have my MBA. So you just never know where you're going to end up. There is no plan that's 100%. Nobody plans their life. If I would have said that I would end up working for Sumitomo in fiber optics and living in Georgia, because originally I'm from Minnesota, I would have said, you're crazy, right? And fiber has brought me all around the world. Right. So I talked about military and ships, being in the Navy. I have traveled far more for fiber. I mean, as I'm speaking to you right now, I'm in the Czech Republic. So, it never stops, right? Or Japan, or, it's amazing. If you're willing to take that little bit of a leap of faith and kind of see what the industry actually has to offer, I mean, what it gives you back is 10 times.
Yeah, the opportunity for growth it's real. Yeah, we see it. We see it a lot. And the parallels to the military, it's wild how many there are, right? The travel, and you are able to wear your hair longer now. For our audio only listeners, it is no longer high and tight. Was that the terminology for back in the day for you?
A little bit of a rebellious streak afterwards, right? Also getting yelled at a little bit less,
Okay, well, let's hope. Any advice that you might have for people who are thinking about taking the leap, trying something new, military or otherwise?
Definitely with the military, choose your rate, choose your fate, right? When you go in, if you want technical training, doors open to you. Learn about what you're going to do, because once again, there are jobs there that you never would have thought existed, just like in fiber. Really, the benefit of fiber over that is there are so many resources and organizations that we work with that support fiber in general, that you can get access to just about every piece of information and learn about fiber optics, whether that's the fiber, the cable, how light travels, how it's marketed, how it's sold, it's all available. Explore, be curious. That number one, the curiosity and wanting to learn.
And I would imagine, so we've talked about how stepping into the industry could be attractive for people who embrace challenges and like to learn new things. I would imagine another big draw is that the work that you do in this industry is impactful because you're, at the end of the day, connecting people, right? Is that part of it, like the personal reward?
Yeah, the connecting people is great, but at the same time, this is one of the few industries that not only pays you back socially, but it's actually a very good paying industry, right? It's a career, right? There's a lot of opportunities and in a lot of industries that are jobs, right? You can get by, but if you really make fiber your passion, I mean, sky's the limit. And I know it sounds all cliche and stuff like that, but but really it changed my life. Like the stability's there, the pay is there. That's one thing that everybody, nobody really wants to talk about, right? But that's important. Is it's good pay.
Livelihood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to meet awesome people. It's a small community, very similar to the military. If you meet somebody in fiber optics and, I'm in the Czech Republic and they say they do, it's the same, level of excitement that you get, and you ask questions and how do you do this? And, oh, that's weird. And it's so cool.
Yeah, I have found that people are very willing to share their knowledge, expertise. It's been a terrific community, I have found to
So
be as well.
sometimes it's hard to get them to shut up. My myself being the primary case is when I talk about fiber, everybody, they can't believe that I'm typically a very quiet person, but when it comes to this, I just love it. And I would say, like, I'm an evangelist for, fiber, trying to get people in. I'm like, oh, have you thought about doing this and this job? And just love it.
Oh, I'm so glad you do. And I'm so glad you took the time during your travels today to talk with us. And I hope you'll come back. We can talk more about your current role and what you're actually doing and how you're supporting our customers. And I have a lot more questions for you, but we should probably wrap it.
Oh yeah. Once we start talking about ribbon fiber and its growth and 16 fiber and 200 micron, and yeah, I can go on. And I've been talking for 2
Yes.
days straight. So
Yes, please. We will have you back. And for our audience members who joined us today, thank you so much. We will be posting a new episode soon. Please tune in for that and subscribe and share this episode if you found it interesting. I know I did. Thanks. Bye.